Good morning, students. I am Asutosh Kumar, PGT Economics from DAP Public School, Bhagalpur. Today we will discuss about saving function. Saving function. First of all, we should know what is saving. Okay, a part of income that is not consumed is called saving. We can write it as Y equal to C plus S, where Y stands for income, C consumption, and S saving. Okay, the part of income that is not consumed is called saving. You can write it as equal to Y minus C. That means as saving equal to income minus consumption. Okay, let us discuss about saving function. What is saving function? We have already discussed saving. What is saving? A part of income that is not consumed is called saving. Now we will discuss about saving function. So saving function shows that S equal to Fy. Okay. So as saving we have already discussed saving. Now we will discuss function. What is function? Function shows the relationship between two variables. Functional relationship between two variables in which one is dependent and one is interdependent. Okay. So S is saving. Saving depends upon income. When income increases, saving will also increase. Okay. So S is saving function shows the functional relationship income and saving. Okay. There is direct and positive relationship between income and saving. When income increases, saving will also increase. Okay. So saving function is also known as propensity to save. There are two types of propensity to save. First one is propensity to save or saving function. Propensity to save, or you can say saving function. There are two types of propensity to save. First one is APS, average propensity to save, and second one is MPS, marginal propensity to save. Let us discuss one by one. First one is APS, average propensity to save. The average propensity to save shows the ratio of aggregate saving and aggregate income. You can write as APS equal to APS equal to S by Y. Okay. So APS, average propensity to save, shows the ratio of aggregate saving and aggregate income. We can explain it with the help of numerical example, with the help of schedule and diagram also. Okay. Let us take one example. Suppose in an economy, income is rupees 50 crore. Income or national income is considered as national income, and saving equal to rupees 10 crore. Okay. Sorry, consumption equal to 10 crore. Therefore, S will be Y minus C, that means 50 minus 10 equal to 40. Okay. Or APS, average propensity to save, will be S by Y, that means 40 divided by 50, that means 0.8. This shows that 0.8, that means 80%. 80% of the income is saved. That is APS, average propensity to save. we can make it more clear with the help of diagram. X, Y, Y dash, okay. On Y axis we will denote saving, and on X axis income. Suppose saving is OP and income is OY. At this level, at E point, at this E point, APS will be, at this E point, average propensity to save will be S by Y. This is saving and this is income Y. So S by Y we can also write as PS by OY. Okay. So PS by OY. This was the functional relationship between income and saving and average propensity to save. So the total, or you can say aggregate saving and aggregate income, ratio of aggregate saving and aggregate income. Now second part is marginal propensity to save. MPS, marginal propensity to save, shows the change in saving, ratio of change in saving due to change in income. We can make it more clear with the help of schedule and diagram. For example, Y 0, 50, 100, 150, 200. Consumption 50, 75, 100, 175, 50, 75, 125 and 150. We have already discussed that part of income that is not consumed, that is saved. So S will be minus 50, because in last video we have already discussed about autonomous consumption. This is a consumption at zero level of income. Even at zero level of income, consumption can't be zero. Minimum consumption is necessary for survival. This type of consumption is called autonomous consumption. In this schedule, 50 is autonomous consumption. This autonomous consumption is managed by past saving, or you can say by borrowing. So minus 50 is this saving or negative saving at autonomous level of consumption. Okay, as income increases 0 to 50, consumption will also increase from 50 to 75. Again, there is situation of negative saving or 25. At zero level of income, at when income is 100, at that time income is equal to consumption. That means saving is 0. After this, when as income increases, consumption will not increase in the same proportion, but consumer will motivate for saving purpose. After this point, saving will be 25, then 50. Now MPS, marginal propensity to save, is change in saving due to change in income. Okay. So MPS equal to delta S by delta Y. That means change in saving due to change in income. When income is 0, that time consumption is 50. Minimum consumption, that is called autonomous consumption. When income increases from 50 to 100, 100 to 150, 150 to 200, consumption also increases. From 50 to 75, 75 to 100, 100 to 125 and 150. Okay, and so on. At this point, in MPS, margin propensity to save will be minus 50 by 0, that will be infinity. Okay. After this point, you can say that 100 minus 50, 0 minus 25, that is 0.5. MPS will be 0.5. So margin propensity to consume and margin propensity to save always remain same or constant. Okay. We make it more clear with the help of diagram also. Y dash, X dash. On X axis, income or national income, saving, 0, 50, 100, 150, 200, 25, 50. Okay, 0, 50, 100, 150 and 200. Saving will be 25, 50, 75, here is 1/4 quadrant, minus 25 minus 50. Okay. Now when income is 0, that time saving is minus 50. Even at 0 level of income, minimum consumption is necessary, that is called autonomous consumption. At 0 level of income, there is situation of saving. When income increases from 0 to 50, at that time even saving is minus 25. When income is 100, that time saving is 0 because income equal to consumption. When income is 150, that time saving is 25. When income is 200, again saving is 50. So this is point, break-even point. Break-even point